today's video, I'll show you how to start a Montana LLC in 7 easy steps. We'll go through everything you need to know, but if this is your first LLC you've created, I actually just recommend using a service like Northwest Registered Agent. We'll show you exactly how to do that later on in this video. So yeah, if you don't want to do this manually, just skip to this time code down below. Let's get started. So these are the 7 steps, and we will go through each of these in more detail later on in this video. First is you'll name your LLC. Second is you'll hire a registered agent. 3 is you'll file your articles of organization. 4 is you'll create your LLC operating agreement. 5 is you'll obtain your EIN for your LLC. 6 is you'll get additional permits and licensing as needed. And then 7 is you'll need to file your annual report. After that, of course, you'll need to maintain your LLC by paying taxes and all that stuff, but we'll talk more about that later on. And yeah, like I said, you guys can bypass all these steps by just using a third-party service such as Northwest Registered Agent. I made 2 LLCs with them. I really recommend them. It's basically free and it allows you to set up your LLC in about 5 to 10 minutes. And again, that time code's gonna be down below. Okay, let's talk about step number 1 in more detail. And that is, of course, naming your LLC. To name your LLC, you do need to follow Montana's state naming guidelines. The first is that your LLC name must include limited liability company, LLC, or L.L.C. This name also cannot contain business name identifiers or other language that states or implies that the limited liability company is a business other than an LLC. It also must be distinguishable from the name of any other business entity on record with the Secretary of State's office. So what you're going to first want to do is make sure the name you want is available in Montana. And to do that, you'll conduct a state name search. We'll leave a link down below to that. It's very easy. And when considering your name of your business, you'll want to choose a name that has an available URL. You don't have to, of course, but it's something that a lot of people like to do. Step number 2 is to hire a registered agent. So a registered agent is a person or a business that is responsible for sending and receiving important legal documents on your behalf. So this will be things like tax forms, lawsuits, government correspondence forms, stuff like that. They also need to be a full-time resident of Montana. And yes, it can be yourself, it can be an employee, or it can be a registered agent service. However, what I will say is that this person or business needs to be available during working hours and must be located in the state. So if you're an out-of-state person and you're trying to create your LLC, then you cannot be your own registered agent. That's one big reason why I recommend Northwest. It's because if you use their service, you actually get 1 year of free registered agent service, which is worth about $150. And that's included for free in your LLC filing package. Step 3 is to file your Montana LLC articles of organization. So this is filed with the Montana Secretary of State. Right now, the filing fee is $35 plus an additional $50 for each series member named in a series LLC. So that may or may not apply to you. To submit this, you'll just do it online via Montana's business filing portal. And that link is also gonna be down below. Before you file this, you do need to decide on your management structure. So is your LLC going to be member managed or is it going to be manager managed? For 99% of you guys watching this, it is going to be member managed. Step 4 is you want to create your LLC operating agreement. Now, this is not required in Montana, but it's highly recommended. An operating agreement is a legal document that outlines the ownership and operating procedures of your company. So this is basically going to ensure that owners and employees, they know what to expect from the company and vice versa, which can really minimize future conflicts. So this slide shows you guys what is usually on the operating agreement. You guys can see it tells you who the members are, when and where the business was created, ownership structure. It's gonna have the management and voting structure. It's gonna have the capital contributions. They'll have rules about distributions, so how money is dispersed. They'll have rules about membership changes, and it's gonna also have rules about how you guys can dissolve the LLC if you want to close down the business. So yeah, essentially think of it as a contract, and while you don't have to have it, I definitely do recommend having one. Step 5 is to obtain your Montana EIN for your company. So this is also known as your federal tax identification number. Think of it sort of as an SSN, but for your business. And this is required by the state to open up a business bank account and hire employees. You'll also need to file your federal and state taxes. Now to get an EIN, it's very easy. You guys can do this yourself directly through the IRS website, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes as well. That link is also going to be down below. Now step 6 is you're gonna need to obtain any additional permits and licensing, and this really depends on what type of business you're starting, but I'll just say that you do wanna be compliant with all the regulations. And we're not gonna get into this too much since it really does depend on the type of business you're starting, but I just recommend doing research on your own for this section. There also may be some business licenses that you guys need, but again, I'll let you guys do your own research about that. So I know that seemed like a lot of stuff. You definitely do want to do all this correctly. And if you don't want to do this yourself, I just recommend using Northwest. I really love their service. The link is going to be down below. And if you guys use that link, it's actually going to take you to an exclusive deal that's available only to my audience. It starts at literally $39, so extremely cheap. And yeah, right now we're going to show you guys exactly how to go through that process. process. This only takes about 5-10 minutes, so I just recommend following along. So again, make sure you click on that link down below. It's gonna take you to this exact landing page, which is exclusive for our audience. And what we're gonna do is we'll come here and click Get Started. So first, it's gonna have you enter in what type of business you're starting. So since we're doing an LLC in Montana, we'll select LLC, and then we're gonna select our state. Cool, so we got Montana. Now it's gonna have you choose your processing time. So there's 9, 7, and 5-day processing. The faster you want, the more expensive it's gonna be, but we'll just go with the 9-day processing. This is a fee that you will need to pay anyways if you're starting an LLC. So yeah, this money does not go to Northwest. We'll click continue right here. Now we're gonna enter in our company details. So for this, let's go with Charlie Chang Productions LLC. You guys can put a comment here if you want, but I just like to have it like this. We'll leave it as use generic business purpose, since that doesn't really matter. For the physical address, we'll leave it as our registered agent address, and same thing with the mailing address. So then we'll click continue. Now you're gonna choose the management structure. Okay, so it's member managed or manager managed. Like I said earlier, most of you will be member managed, but if you wanna learn more about it, you guys can click on that little question mark and it's going to show you what that means. But yeah, since you guys wanna make all the decisions for your own LLC, it's gonna be member managed. How many members will be in this company? Since it is just me, I'll leave it as 1, and then I'll put in my name right here. This will leave as our registered agent address, and we'll click continue. Now we'll set up our account, so I'll put in my email address, we'll create a password, and then we'll click continue. Now I'll enter in our contact details. After that, we'll click continue, and now we'll be able to add additional optional items. Okay, so you guys can actually have Northwest get your EIN for you. It's really cheap on here, but it's also very easy for you guys to do yourself, so it's really up to you. For this video, I'm just not gonna have Northwest do that, and I can do that myself. If you guys do wanna have an S Corp election, then you guys can also select this, but you can do it yourself as well, or just do it later. And you guys can click on this question mark to learn more about this. But essentially, if you're making over about $40,000, $50,000 in net profit in a given year, it may make sense for you to have that S Corp election. That'll basically save you some money on taxes. If you guys want any of these, you guys can also check mark that. Phone service is included, so I'll just leave that checked and we'll click continue. And after that, it's just gonna take your payment information right here, and then you'll click done to submit the LLC filing. So yeah, as you guys can see, super easy. And if you guys just use Northwest, it's going to ensure that you do it correctly. And yeah, as you guys can see, the basic package literally costs $39. This $35 processing fee, you'll have to pay regardless, even if you do it yourself. So yeah, $39 to save you a ton of hassle and time and ensure that you do it correctly. I think it's super worth it. I have a ton of LLCs and I have never filed it by myself manually. It just makes way more sense to use a company like this. Again, that link's gonna be down below and it's gonna get you that $39 deal. So after you form your LLC in Montana, there are a few things you'll want to do. First is you'll want to open up a business bank account. This is essentially going to separate your personal assets from your business assets. And this is very important because it keeps your personal assets safe in case of any potential lawsuits. You also may want to get a business credit card. We'll have a link down below to a bunch of business credit cards that we recommend. And of course, you'll definitely want to hire an accountant, right? So this is going to help you save money on taxes and it's going to make sure that you do everything correctly. This is basically going to be your consultant. In terms of the tax filing requirements, you may need to pay employer taxes if you have employees in the state. And so if you have that, you'll need to register for unemployment insurance tax as well as employee withholding tax. And then to file your taxes for this LLC, you'll either be using Form 1065. This is for multi-member LLCs. It's the partnership return. Or if you are a single member LLC, which is probably most of you guys watching this video, you'll file with the Form 1040 Schedule C. There's also an annual report that you do need to file. This can be done online. It's $20 per year and it's due on April 15th of every year following the business's formation. There is a late filing fee of $15. And if you are super late, the state can actually dissolve your LLC at any time. So yeah, definitely make sure you file this annual report. So yeah, that's essentially how you can start your LLC in the state of Montana. As you guys can see, it can be pretty complex if you do it yourself, or I just recommend using a service like Northwest to do it for you. Again, that link's gonna be down below to get that exclusive deal. But yeah, hopefully you guys got a lot of value from this video. I encourage you guys to do more of your own research. And of course, make sure you have an accountant to ensure that you are compliant with all the rules and regulations. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. This whole channel is dedicated to helping you guys start and grow your business. And yeah, I really appreciate your time. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much and I'll see you in the next video.